All right, welcome back to Cultivating Connections. I'm Amanda Brosana Rios, the Communications Director for the National Grange. And today I am joined by only one of our instructors, but we have a good lineup of information for you today. So Tara, welcome.
Thank you.
So today we're learning about holidays, I believe.
That is correct.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to turn the big screen to you so everybody can see, and let me know if you need me.
Will do. Thank you. Okay. I think we had a request last week for holidays. So someone had requested that. So I went ahead and made a list of holidays. And if there is, I guess I want to preface this by saying, I am not a connoisseur of holidays. If I'm missing something, please let me know. But I've made a list of just the national, the regular holidays and whatnot. And then Amanda, you'll let me know if something kind of pops up that I've forgotten, okay? And what I typically do as an interpreter, my mind kind of, I get a topic and then it expands from there. And then I kind of go back to the topic and then I may think of other things and then it goes off that way. So if that happens, I will let you know. But anyway, okay, so the first one I have is Christmas. And so you'll take your dominant hand and you will make a C. And it goes towards you and that way. So that is the sign for Christmas. Christmas. Now, I will also let you know, for those of you that have not been with us for the past, 11 weeks or 11 weeks, okay, I have lived in about 6 or 7 different states with the military and 3 different countries. And so I have kind of picked up different signs, and as an interpreter, I've had to adjust. So when I show you something, it is not right or wrong. It is it's a regional adjustment that I've had to make to match the accent or the regional difference that that deaf region is using. So if you have seen something in the state that you're in and say, well, I've seen at my Grange or my church, they use this, then that's awesome and that's okay. And then you continue to use what your state is using, okay? So I grew up in New Jersey. I went to college in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. I've lived in Mississippi and Arizona. And I've worked in Missouri, where I've lived, and Kansas. So I'm kind of all over the place, all over the country. So what I'm showing you is Christmas. And also I have seen Christmas, okay? And maybe you've seen others. So I'm saying that in the beginning because I'm going to show you a couple different ways. All right. So you also have Christmas tree. All right. Christmas tree. All right. Also, we've got Christmas carols. All right. And this is the sign for songs. So in context, we can say Christmas carols. And when you're using two signs together, you kind of go from one sign to the next. Okay. All right. Oops, can we see that one? Reindeer. Okay. Reindeer. Reindeer. Okay. All right, this next one. Santa Claus. And also you'll see Santa Claus. Made at the belly, Santa Claus. Okay. All right. The sign for snow is white snow. So it's like white flurry. All right. White flurry. Okay. One moment, please. Okay. All right. Now I need to check one thing here. Okay. I needed to check the sign for Hanukkah because I need to see if my fingers go in or out. So the sign for Hanukkah, your pinkies are going to touch and they go out like a candelabra. Hanukkah. All right. Hanukkah. All right. Moving on. If you're really curious about something and I haven't mentioned it, please type it and Amanda will let me know because I cannot see your comments. All right, the next one is Easter. Easter, so we have an E, and you're gonna shake it Easter, or Easter, or Easter. Okay, the sign for egg is like cracking an egg, but what I've seen is an E, and you crack the E for Easter. Yep, Easter. Perfect. Okay, bunny. I gotta change my camera here so it kind of maybe goes up a little bit because I've got this stand here so I can keep my notes there. Bunny, bunny. So we have horse out this way, and we have bunny or bunny. Okay, perfect. Okay. Basket, basket. So you're gonna go from your wrist to your elbow, basket. So if you have, let's say, okay, we're looking for our Easter basket. Awesome. Okay, so coloring eggs, or you can say dyeing eggs. Okay, or you can kind of show. You can show cups like this. Okay, you can kind of show the act of what you're doing. So it's not like a performance, but you're actually using the vocabulary and you're showing what you're doing using contextual clues of the act that you're doing to kind of show what the intentions are of the language of what you're meaning there. Okay, let's move on to, we're coming up to that, the 4th of July, okay? 4th. So just because we're talking about the 4th, the way that you talk about 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, you actually do 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. You go like this. So if you're in a running race and you go, he's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But for the holiday, we're gonna go 4th, and then you spell July. Okay? For firework, you're gonna say red, firework. You're gonna show a rocket. Red, rocket, boom. Okay? You don't say all those things, but that's what you're thinking when you make your signs. So if you ask your friend, hey, okay, this is what you're saying. Hey, tonight, you always set up the time frame first. Tonight, you go, are you going to watch the fireworks? Okay, or, hey, 4th July, you go, fireworks? Okay, that's how you set up your sentence. So you're gonna say, when, what are you going to watch? Are you going? All right, 4th of July. Happy New Year. Let's do that one because that also has fireworks. At least where I've lived, they've always had fireworks. Okay, happy New Year. Happy New Year. So your dominant hand, your right hand, if you're right-handed, is going to come up through the left hand like this, new, and make a full circle. So think about the, the sun around the, the earth making a rotation like that. Yeah, earth. Here. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm just thinking of a thought that's going that way. Let's do Halloween, okay? Halloween. Halloween. I've also seen Halloween. Halloween for the mask. Okay. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Now, because we're talking about the holidays and we're already in the context of Halloween, when you see T and T, you know that we're talking about the kids going trick or treating. Okay. So if if I was interpreting for someone and they just said, I would have a hard time distinguishing what are you talking about without that context being set up. Okay. Candy, candy. So on the right side of your mouth, you're going to take your finger and you can do candy, candy. There's a couple ways to do candy. Okay. You can do candy, candy, or candy. All right. Costumes. Take your thumbs and go costumes. All right. I've been using this sign a lot for masks, and you're covering up, but we did Halloween, but also now you can also do masks or masks. Masks or masks. But I've been using typically masks now. All right. Kids. Okay, you take this sign and put it underneath your nose, masks, or children, children or kids. Party, party, party. Pumpkin. I think we did this last week when we were talking about watermelon, if you remember watermelon, but now we're just alone, we're doing pumpkin. And you kind of flick the back of your hand there, pumpkin. And ghost, ghost. All right, moving on. Okay, I need to check this one here. Kwanzaa, okay. Kwanzaa, you do Africa, holiday. Africa, holiday. So that's a compound sign, and you're doing the shape of the continent, which is cool. Africa, holiday, Kwanzaa. Okay. Moving on to Thanksgiving. Okay, so you're gonna make, this is a Q hand shape, and it goes underneath your chin. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, you go chin to chest, Thanksgiving. If you leave it under here and go like this, it's turkey. All right, turkey, turkey. You also can see Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. Sometimes people say, that's too many, I don't know which way to do my wrist. So I just say, just go Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, okay? All right. Okay, pumpkin pie, pumpkin pie. Okay, Indians, Indians, and that is like a feather from the forehead down the back. Okay, and then you have the sign for pilgrims. I'm sorry about that sound, and I don't know how to turn it off.
I'm so thankful that's your sound and not
I'm sorry.
mine. I thought my fire alarm was going.
No, my husband just set up a new alarm system yesterday. And so my phone was going off to try it out. And I was like, what? This phone call from California. And I was like, oh, I thought it was so now I'm sitting here and I heard it and I didn't know what it was, like maybe internet or something. And then I realized it says smart alarm. And I'm like, oh, and I hear my son going in and out and in and out. So the blessings from working from home, right? And that's okay, I'll take it. So I apologize, and I've just unplugged the box that's right there. So just hope the dog doesn't run out. So moving on. The word is pilgrim. And so we're going to draw a bib on your chest here, pilgrim. So you take the letter P, start here and down, pilgrim. Good. Okay, I showed for fireworks, or you could do fireworks for 4th of July. Let's do happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And I was thinking right now I would show you how to sign the song Happy Birthday, because it's always kind of good to know that. Okay, so when we say dear, we'll do dear Amanda, because Amanda's right here and she just got her name signed. So you could say, sweetheart, Amanda, okay? Depending on who you're singing to. So if it's your, you know, your husband, wife, mom, dad, or you could be funny, which a lot of people say dear, which it's not contextually, it's not right. It's not the appropriate, you know, word choice, but it's funny. So we say, dear Amanda, whatever. So we can do whatever. And we'll just, to be funny, we'll say dear, okay? So please join me in singing happy birthday to Amanda. When's your birthday, Amanda? You can finger spell it.
August 8th. 8th. Yeah, 8th.
Okay, perfect. I'm
Leo's.
Yes. I knew I liked you a long time ago. Okay, so we will start. Awesome. Thank you. So there's a song that you can celebrate with your friends at your next party. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to show you the 4 seasons. Okay, this is a sign for seasons. And the first one, since we're definitely in it, is, and I think I maybe showed you this before, but it's summer, and it's made over your eyebrow. Summer. Okay, summer. Then you have fall. Fall. All right. You can do it 2 ways. We can do winter or winter. You take your W's and do this, winter, and then spring, like for growing of the flowers. Okay. So those are all of the holidays. Did I forget anything? Oh, I was thinking of St. Patrick's Day. Just thought of it. St. Patrick's Day is it's like a pinch on the, it's a pinch on the arm, but you don't actually pinch somebody, but it's like you're pinching someone for not wearing green. Okay. St. Patrick's Day. And Valentine's Day. You draw a heart over the heart.
Did you hit Memorial Day or Veterans Day? And I noticed that we did have someone ask about some military stuff that people could learn in a future week.
Okay, perfect. I will take notes for that. And then I'll have that ready for next week for the military things, if that works.
Yeah, I think they heard that you're a military spouse, so you're a good person to.
Perfect. Yeah, I would love to do that. So Memorial Day, we do look back. So we do Memorial Day, or we can do Memorial. It's an M by the I, Memorial Day. So when we do look back, it's kind of like, Memorial, you know, look back, and we look back into the past. So it's kind of a cool sign, Memorial Day. And Veterans Day is, I've seen 2. I've seen it finger spelled. So we're going to finger spell Veterans Day. Veterans Day. And of course we're saying happy Veterans Day. And we're doing honor. So Honors Day. Happy Veterans Day, but we are signing Honors Day. Okay, so those 2. And I may have mentioned this in the past, but if any of you have noticed that I do not dress for funerals every time that I show up on here. I wear black every time. Interpreters, we always wear dark clothes so you can see our hands when we're signing. And so it's easy for you to see. So sometimes I'm moving my hands down here so you can see them more clear. I'm in love with this Grange pride sign right here, our emblem. It is very large, and it is very proud. And Amanda and I talked about this. It is very large, and these shirts are very, very comfortable. If you've not gotten one yet, I highly recommend these shirts. They're wonderful. And I like to wear these on Fridays when I'm teaching this class. But it's also wonderful, and I got the black one so I can use it while I'm teaching this. But it's also great for when I'm working out in the community. I can wear it because interpreters were required. If you're light skinned, then we use black. So I wear lots of navy, cranberry, brown, typically black. So my hands are in contrast to my clothes. And dark skin, they tend to wear white, yellow, tan clothes that also contrast with their skin. So it's light on the eyes for the deaf consumer, so they're not trying to differentiate. So if I were to sign with that background, my hands kind of get lost in the, it's harder to see. And if I were to have, like anything with stripes or, to wear an icon or something on a shirt, it would be very distracting. So I just thought I would just point that out right now, why I was kind of moving back and moving the camera around and stuff, not to make anybody seasick or nauseous. Oh, Father's Day. Thank you. Happy Father's Day. And happy Mother's Day. Mm-hmm.
You want to do that one again? It switched to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mothers.
Mm-hmm. Mother's Day and Father's Day. And also for Grandparents' Day, you take both father and mother, and you move them together. Grandparents' Day. Mm-hmm. Go together. Yep. And I have on here, because I don't know if we even taught, I have it in my notes about even good morning to good night. Did we discuss that? Okay. I thought I would just kind of take this time since we were kind of going over a few things. So your hand is set up as the horizon. And a lot of people don't realize that our bodies are so very important as a timestamp when we're using sign language. So a lot of people have made comments like, why is the faces kind of moving all around? And it does look a little crazy when you don't realize why the facial expressions seem so extreme. But a lot of the grammar and linguistics are made on the face. At the same time, the body and the shoulders are also giving information at the same time as the face, at the same time as the mouth, at the same time as the hands. And so all of this is working together to give information, because deaf people don't hear the voice inflection, the intonation of the voice, and so they have to pick up that information from other cues. So we're using the body, we're leaning forward, we're leaning back. And so when you're looking at the body, like so, when we move forward, that's future, this is present, and this is past. So when we're interpreting or using sign language more specifically, when our shoulders are up, that's more urgent than them being down. So I forgot to sign all that at the same time because I'm like thinking about different cues that I'm using. But so for example, when we say good morning, this now is the horizon of the earth. And so when you say good morning, this is now the sun. So the sun is coming up. So when you say, this is a sign for good, but we're just going to go from one to the next and we say good morning. Okay, so your dominant hand is the sun to say good morning. When you say good afternoon, this is now the sun at 12 o'clock. So good afternoon. Okay, that's at noon, actual 12 noon, good afternoon. When you say good evening, the sun now has, 5 o'clock or so. You say good good evening. And when you say good night, the sun is now set. Okay. Now, if I were to tell someone that I will, that the ball is, let's just say it's Happy New Year, and they say, what time are you showing up? Because the party's going to be over. The ball drops at 12 o'clock. So they're saying that at 12 o'clock, they're saying the number 12 is at midnight. So now that 12 on the clock is all the way down here because that sun is all the way at midnight. So that's how you say 12 o'clock in the midnight, and this is 12 o'clock at noon. So this is actually like a clock, and it's working in space. So we're using all of this space to show a reference of time. So let's practice. When you say good morning, you're saying good morning. Your hands don't touch. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. Any questions on any of that?
Not on that so far, but we do have a question of if you can repeat fireworks again.
Sure. So we can do fireworks in a couple different ways. You can do your like a boom in the sky. So when you're talking about something that's happening in the sky, then you're going to go your in the sky like that. Or the sign for rocket. So I do red, and then I do the flash in the sky, like for firework. Like that. I use that sign for when I do the national anthem, when the rocket's red flare, the bombs bursting in air. That's kind of the sign that I've been using for like 25 years. So I tend to use that sign.
The last question that we had sent to us earlier this week was by a member who was impressed with all of the things that you all used to learn in Junior Grange and Grange Youth for sign language. And she wondered if their Grange isn't very active in doing sign language, if there's other things that you would suggest now that you're an interpreter, because she might be interested in becoming an interpreter or learning more sign language. So community resources that you might see or anything like that.
Okay, so do you know which state that this member is in by any chance?
They're in a Grange in New York.
New York, okay. Yes, there are tons of resources, which is awesome. And yeah, luckily we did have a Junior Grange as a wonderful stepping stone to kind of start that that interest for both Carolyn and I. In fact, Carolyn was the one that I was watching as I was growing up. She was the one that I saw interpreting, even though she was not an interpreter, but she was the one that I watched. So I would suggest for this member to maybe contact her state, the New York State Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing, and also to contact her New York State Registry of Interpreters for the Deaf. And that is a registry for all the interpreters in her state. And they have the resources there, which they have like the silent nights, like the silent dinners and all that stuff, where she could start kind of socializing with other interpreters, other students, and learn about what interpreting programs could be available for her in the area. And then she could learn, maybe they have online programs in her area. Because I'm living in Florida, I don't know what would be really local in her area, but you want to also give me her information, we can connect online and I can help get her set up as well. Be happy to do that. Yeah.
That was all of our questions. So we know next week we're going to look at military signs, and maybe you can toss in some other public service things like firefighter, EMT, police officer, those type of signs.
Wonderful. Yes. Got it.
All right. Well, thank you for teaching us happy birthday.
You're welcome.
And all of the other signs for today. And we hope you'll join us back next Friday. And don't forget, tomorrow is date night in number 11.0. And if you have a talent that you want to share, we would welcome you. Thanks so much.
Bye.